From WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Wind is going to be an issue for us again today. I'll show you how widespread our fire danger will be.
Homecoming trouble. A party during NC Central's homecoming week led to traffic backups, tow trucks, and at least one serious crash. The problems police, students, and nearby residents are trying to figure out this morning.
And dramatic chase. Video only on WRAL shows the moments police track down a bank robbery suspect. Just wild to see. It looked like something out of California,
right?
But no, it was here in Wake County. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. We have a lot to tell you about here on this Thursday morning, and we're so glad you're with us. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Loving. I actually got the notification yesterday and started watching it. I was like, oh, man. But it's because of the notifications that I got that information and, of course, the weather updates that we have this morning from Elizabeth Gardner. Another windy day, Elizabeth.
Look at it. Winds gusting this afternoon, 25 to 30 miles per hour. So it will be another high fire danger kind of day for almost the entire state. You're encouraged not to do any burning between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. when the winds will be the strongest. We did have a few wildfires that popped up across our area yesterday. And of course, anything will spread fast with those winds today. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty quiet day. Notice our dew point's down to 29. That's very low. That's the lowest dew point that I can remember so far this fall season. That just means the air is extremely dry. 52 is our temperature in the Triangle, but it's cooler than that in a lot of places. 42 in Southern Pines and Fayetteville, 41 in Goldsboro, 47 in South Hill right now. Nice afternoon. We'll climb into the low 70s with lots and lots of sunshine. As a matter of fact, it looks nice and dry through the rest of the fair, but we'll talk more about some rain in our forecast for early next week. Also, not good news for folks in Jamaica. This is the latest look at the path for Melissa. That storm gets awfully close to the island of Jamaica as a Category 4 storm next week. Ken?
Elizabeth, at 6:01. Let's start outside. Give our viewers a live look at I-40 and Wade Avenue. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. Of course, the eastbound lanes coming toward us. Traffic beginning to pick up just a bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. And this what we're seeing on all our major routes coming into Raleigh and Wake County this morning. Relatively very little to no delays. 1 minute if you're coming in from Wake Forest, 1 minute if you're coming in from Nightdale. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio. We'll keep you updated all morning long with your morning commute. 101.5 HD3.
This morning, 4 people are recovering after they were hurt in a crash near a large North Carolina Central University homecoming party. WRAL's Ali Calabar is live outside North Carolina Central this morning. Ali, we're working to learn whether this party was sanctioned by the university.
Renee, we know that that party was about 35 minutes away from campus here, and that crash was about a mile away from that party. We're working to find out from the university if the people involved in that crash were students, but this video shared with WRAL shows that crash scene. We know from authorities that 2 people had seatbelts on and 2 were in the trunk. 8 in total were in that SUV. It crashed into a parked car and flipped around 8:30. 4 people were hurt. They're expected to be okay, but it was less than a mile from that homecoming celebration. This video shows massive crowds. It also shows cars parked illegally blocking the road. One student we spoke with says she had to figure out a ride home because of all of the towing issues.
The parking situation is crazy. I don't know how we're going to get home, but we're going to find a way. Me and my group are going to find our way home.
We know many students had to figure out a way home as well. We're working to find out if the university sanctioned this celebration and if those people involved in the crash were NC Central students. Reporting live in Durham, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
Wake Preparatory Academy is on remote learning today, and the charter school says this is because of a situation with law enforcement, but it didn't elaborate on what that situation was. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office is handling that investigation. Also this morning, we're trying to learn more about a reported drowning in Zebulon. Police say they were called to Randwick Valley Court near NC 39 around 6 o'clock last night. The victim was rushed to the hospital, but police have not released any information about that person or their condition.
There's no word yet on what caused a series of small fires along NC 540 last night in Cary. Firefighters from Cary, Morrisville, and Apex responded to the fires near Green Level West Road. Investigators believe it initially started as one fire before windy conditions sparked 2 more. The fires were quickly put out.
A high-speed chase suspect ran into a Knightdale business after crashing his SUV, and video only captured by Sky 5 shows the moment 52-year-old Anthony Mingo crashed his car along Knightdale Boulevard and then took off running. Let's go and bring in Kelsey Coffey right now. She is live outside the restaurant where that person reportedly ran in. Kelsey, we learned law enforcement was tracking down a bank robbery suspect.
Yes, Chris, and deputies cleared this scene just hours ago. Late last night, 52-year-old Anthony Mingo ran inside this restaurant here, 101 Kitchen, after leading deputies on a chase and crashing his SUV. This video, only captured by Sky 5, shows how it all happened. First, you can see Mingo's SUV weaving in and out of traffic. He later crashes the SUV along Knightdale Boulevard. Then he runs away and heads inside 101 Kitchen. You can see people running out of the restaurant as Mingo runs in. We spoke with the driver who witnessed the chase.
We knew he was running from the law because the law passed us.
The owner of 101 Kitchen says deputies eventually caught up with Mingo inside the kitchen. Deputies say he injured himself and was taken to the hospital. Last night, we also learned Mingo is a suspect in a Raleigh bank robbery. We're working to get more information this morning, like when will this restaurant reopen, what's Mingo's current condition, and what charges will he face. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
Enfield police made an arrest in connection with a string of break-ins on Tuesday, and police say they searched Travis Scott's home and then found him there. They say he ran out the back door, leading officers and K-9 units in a chase. He was eventually taken into custody, but police found items stolen in multiple break-ins at that home. Enfield police say they had several felony charges that are forthcoming for this.
Today, we expect to learn more about civil rights leader William Barber's plans to take legal action against a newly approved congressional map. Barber plans to hold a news conference today. The state house gave final approval to changes to congressional district lines yesterday. Republicans redrew the districts to ensure they pick up another seat in the U.S. House next year. Democrats have criticized the process, even calling it racist. One of North Carolina's only black lawmakers in Congress, Don Davis, is likely to lose his seat because of the change. Davis is responding to the new congressional map, saying, quote, "It is not only one of the darkest moments in our state's history, but the way it was done, offering limited public participation by those affected and ignoring the voices of those who did participate, is morally wrong on all fronts."
A federal grand jury indicted the man accused of stabbing a woman to death on a Charlotte light rail. DeCarlos Brown is charged with knowingly and unlawfully using a dangerous weapon with intent to cause death. The maximum sentence is life in prison or death. Brown is accused of killing 23-year-old Irina Zarutska in August. She was a Ukrainian refugee living and working in Charlotte. Brown is actually facing murder charges in Mecklenburg County, and the stabbing also prompted change in Raleigh. This month, Governor Josh Stein signed Irina's law. The new law tightens restrictions for people eligible for bail after being arrested, and it also requires the governor to explore legal pathways for restarting the death penalty. Our full coverage can be found over on WRAL.com.
A Sanderson High School instructional assistant is recovering after being injured during a fight in a restroom. WRAL has learned that instructional assistant Sharon Bass was injured. Raleigh police say officers responded to the school yesterday morning. Bass and 2 students were hurt. The Wake County DA has approved petitions against 3 juveniles. One of them will be charged with the drug law violation. The others will be charged with assault.
Another attempt to end the government shutdown failed as we give you a live look this morning at Capitol Hill, where last night the Senate failed for the 12th time to pass a stopgap funding bill. Another vote could happen as early as today, day 23 of the shutdown. The Senate could also vote on a bill that would pay essential federal employees. These are workers currently working without a paycheck. GOP Senator Ron Johnson introduced the bill, but it's unclear if it has enough support to pass. Many federal workers are struggling to make ends meet right now, with many turning to food banks for help, Renee.
And as food banks are struggling to meet the need, Chris, today is Hunger Relief Day at the North Carolina State Fair. Anybody who brings 6 cans of food to any gate will get in for free. This is in partnership with Smithfield Foods and benefits the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. The food will help feed people across 34 counties in our state. Food banks tell us this is a critical time for them.
We're seeing an impact every day with more people needing our services as well as fewer dollars that we have to be able to provide the food that so many people need.
And you can make an impact. In fact, you have. Since 1993, donations during this drive at the State Fair have totaled more than 6.8 million pounds.
Giving a little helps a lot. The 2025 Clayton Harvest Festival gets started today, and all the fun begins on Main Street at 5 p.m. There will be events at Horn and Town Squares. Admission and parking, it's free. However, rides, games, and food, that will cost you money. Ticket information and festival hours are available on the Clayton Harvest Festival website. This will be running through at least Sunday. Your time this morning at 6:10. Called a daring rescue. A tow truck driver suspended over an overpass after a crash. How first responders were able to get that driver to safety.
Raises on hold. A lack of a budget agreement is putting pay increases for teachers and state employees in limbo, while lawmakers are waiting it out.
And around town, we're going to hold on to the 70s for today. Beautiful day to get outside. It's going to be a little bit on the windy side. I'm going to show you why our temperatures will steadily drop as we head into the weekend.
And we do have a look at your winning Powerball numbers on your screen. 18, 37, 52, 54, 60. The Powerball is 12. The multiplier, 2.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. Oh, it's going to be such a nice weekend in the mountains, especially around the Boone area between Boone and Asheville. I think this is probably going to be the peak weekend. I was up there last weekend, and it was lovely. And I think this weekend may be even nicer. Saturday, lots of sunshine, 66 in Asheville, 57 in Boone. And on Sunday, same story. It'll be nice and cool, a good bit of sunshine. We may end up seeing some increasing clouds on Sunday, but I think it'll stay dry. Monday, we're going to see some rain right here. Carolina Beach, nice and clear this morning. And look at this. Our rip current danger is low. I can't remember the last time I pulled that map up and it was all low. Pretty at the beaches this weekend, but definitely cooler than last weekend. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 60s on Saturday and again on Sunday, but it may be a nice weekend to head out and go fishing. Our temperatures will begin to drop somewhat this weekend too. I'll show you what it'll feel like. Ken?
This is what's happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, taking a look at those drive times coming into the capital city. No delays whatsoever, so Rich is really good news. You will get to your destination on time. I do have a traffic alert for our neighbors, particularly in Wendell. There'll be some traffic light outages happening around 9 o'clock this morning and 11 o'clock as well. The first one will happen near Eagle Rock Road. The second one at 11 o'clock will happen near the I-87 interchange. That'll give Pike Energy an opportunity to do some system upgrades on behalf of Duke Energy. So keep that in mind if you're heading out later this morning. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And happening right now in the WRAL Life Center, King Charles and Queen Camilla arrived in Italy. They're going to the Vatican today for a historic visit to forge some closer relations between the Church of England and also the Catholic Church. You can see this is when they arrived there. We also have video of their motorcade as well. Now, the highlight of the visit will be a midday prayer service in the Sistine Chapel. The Catholic Church and Church of England have been divided for centuries over several different issues. This is also a very welcome break for the royals from the turmoil over the Epstein sex scandal. The British royal family under intense scrutiny once again over Prince Andrew's ties with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Buckingham Palace and the UK government under pressure to formally strip Prince Andrew of his title.
Michelle, thanks. Take a look at this terrifying sight caught on a Texas interstate. Crews were working hard to rescue a tow truck driver as his truck dangled off that overpass. So this happened near Dallas. Authorities say the truck crashed through a barrier while trying to avoid hitting a disabled vehicle. First responders were eventually able to rescue the driver from that truck. He was treated for minor injuries at the scene.
New video shows us work being done after sunset last night at the White House there, and teams are demolishing the East Wing to make room for President Trump's new ballroom. The Trump administration says that it expects demolition to be complete within days, and this is happening as we're in the middle of the second longest government shutdown in history. U.S. Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina says the start of the project, it's bad timing.
We're talking about building a ballroom when we're trying to get the economy squared away. Timing's bad.
The cost of the ballroom has risen to $300 million, and the White House claims it will be funded by President Trump himself and private donors. The list of donors includes Amazon, Apple, Lockheed Martin, and Google.
It looks like North Carolina teachers and state employees will have to keep waiting on a raise for months. Yesterday was the last day of the year. The state house planned to be in session. Republican leaders worked together this week to redraw the district voting map to send more Republicans to Congress. But they made no progress on negotiating a new state budget. And unless something major changes, there will be no raises coming or any other state spending changes until sometime next year. Looking ahead, construction is expected to begin on a new Wake County park later this year. Kellam-Wyatt County Park spans 59 acres on the Raleigh-Knightdale border. The land was donated to the county in 2018 by the Kellam-Wyatt family. The park will feature community gardens, a pavilion, walking trails, and playgrounds. It's expected to open by 2027.
Well, you'll soon be able to hit the ice at Fenton and Cary, where you're looking live this morning. It's going to look a lot different, right? Skate the Square returns November 7th, and this pop-up rink welcomes skaters of all ages every day. You can choose general tickets or season passes. There are also special discounts, including the Monday Cheapskate. On Tuesdays, veterans, military, and emergency workers can enjoy discounted skating with a valid ID. Children 7 and under can join their parents every Sunday morning from 10 a.m. through 11.
The latest edition of the Home Chef Challenge at the State Fair celebrated all things deep fried and tasty. Brian Short earned third place honors with his deep fried mac and cheese bites. Oh, and then Crystal Ridge impressed the judges with her beer-battered bourbon-salted caramel apple nachos to finish second. And the blue ribbon went to Nathan Haskins for his chorizo and jalapeno deep-fried cheese bombs. All sound so good.
And kind of rude because no one's got any food here. Hey, if you're going to be at the State Fair, why don't you stop by and meet the WRAL family? This morning, meteorologist Grant Skinner and Kent Smith are going to be there from 10:30 to 11:30, and then in the afternoon, Brian Schrader and Sarah Kruger will be there from 2 to 3. And I tell you what, today going to the fair, it's going to feel a lot like it's been the last couple of days, but we're going to see just a little breezier condition today, Elizabeth.
Yeah, a little bit more windy. I don't think that it'll affect your visit to the fair, but it certainly affects our fire danger for today. Nice and quiet at the fair this morning. The winds are not strong yet. It's likely to be after lunchtime that they kind of move into that zone of where we could end up with some fire danger. 52 right now in the Triangle area. Temperatures are in the 40s in a lot of spots this morning, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend at the fair. Notice the temperatures gradually falling, though. 71 today, 68 for Friday, 67 Saturday, 65 on Sunday. Sunday we'll see increasing clouds and it will be cool, but no rain in our forecast until Sunday morning. So that'll be nice. Let's talk about the change. This high pressure system keeps things nice and dry, but will also help to drag in some cooler temperatures. Our next chance for rain comes Monday morning into Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. A coastal low could develop along a front that moves eastward. Rainfall totals uncertain, but this version of Futurecast definitely shows a good bit of rain. This is Friday. We're going to start on Friday. Things are awfully quiet and nice at the fair. Notice that by Sunday at 5 p.m., the rain is starting to move into the mountains, but not into our area until early on Monday morning. There's 7 a.m. Probably going to be a wet commute for us on Monday. Here's Monday at 8 p.m. We'll likely have a low that develops along the coast, and depending on how long it lingers along the coast will depend on how much rain we end up seeing. This is a look at what we might call the best or worst case scenario. We need the rain. So best case scenario, 1 inch to 2 inches to try to catch up with rain, and that would be Monday through Wednesday. In terms of tropical storm Melissa, it has winds at 50 miles per hour, but unfortunately the newest run of the model brings this farther north as it makes that left turn as a category 3 or 4 storm. The center of circulation very close to the island of Jamaica. That means that there could be considerable damage there as we get into the weekend, and models are consistent with bringing it up to Cat 2, Cat 3, maybe even up to Cat 4 as we get closer to the weekend. Past the weekend here, we're going to see much cooler temperatures. Highs are down into the low 60s with that much needed rain. Ken?
Elizabeth, at 6:21, and let's take a live look at the southern loop of the Beltline. You know that starts around Rock Quarry Road, runs all the way over to US 1 there in Cary, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. The westbound lane's moving away from us this morning, flowing nicely in that direction as well. As for those of you using I-40 west as an inbound route, if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, Highway 36 to the Beltline, no delays. We just showed you that southern loop of the Beltline, traffic picking up a little bit, but no delays to report this morning. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. License mix-up. A local woman nearly lost hers over a speeding ticket in a state she's never been to. 5 on your side explains how they helped clear up the confusion.
And passing a stopped school bus. Why one mother wants everyone to see the video she captured on her doorbell camera. A North Carolina woman is sharing her concerns after her doorbell camera captured this video. This shows the moment a car drove past a stopped school bus with its stop arm out and lights flashing. Ashley Gerard says her son was walking toward the bus when he noticed something that made him stop.
It was going too fast, and if I would have stepped out, it would have hit me.
I'm glad it did not, young man. In North Carolina, the consequences of passing a stopped school bus include a minimum fine of $500.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A new look at a comedy legend and the return of Bon Jovi.
Yeah, we got Ken Smith here now with What's Trending. So what you got for us, Ken?
Yeah, that comedy legend, of course, is Eddie Murphy. I watched SNL religiously when he was on there. We're getting a first look at a new documentary about him. It's called Being Eddie, examining the legendary comedian's unique and barrier-breaking career. The documentary will include several Hollywood legends, along with Eddie Murphy himself.
And I'm curious to see his thoughts on like playing so many different characters in the same movie. Obviously, he does that a lot. So if you want to see it, it comes out on Netflix on November 12th.
Oh, yeah, he made it. It was absolutely so funny. So legendary rock band Bon Jovi announcing its first tour since 2022. Now, so far the tour includes dates in Madison Square Garden and in Europe. During the group's hiatus, singer John Bon Jovi was recovering from medical procedures to his vocal cords.
Yeah, his vocal cords had damage that at one point he didn't think he could sing again. But he got that surgery. He's been rehabbing his voice and now back touring, which would be amazing. 12 years ago at PNC Arena, and he looked good, and he sounded great.
Yeah, love that.
Oh, memories.
Party disruptions. A large gathering during North Carolina Central Homecoming Week ended with at least one car crash and several cars being towed. The issues people in the area are waking up to this morning.
And called a dramatic chase. A police pursuit led officers through parts of Wake County and into a Nightdale business. The moments the suspect was tracked down, only on WRAL.
And school day forecast at the first bell. Temperatures are comfortable in the mid to upper 40s. A lovely afternoon at 71, but I'll show you where our temperatures start to cool off considerably as we get into early next week.